Keep smiling, because life is a beautiful thing and there's so much to smile about. Health is the greatest gift, contentment the greatest wealth, faithfulness the best relationship. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes, you can steer yourself any direction you choose. Good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience, this is the ideal life. I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. The two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. When I was 5 years old, my mother always told me that happiness was the key to life. When I went to school, they asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up. I wrote down happy. They told me I didn't understand the assignment, and I told them they didn't understand life. Too many of us are not living our dreams because we are living our fears. I believe every human has a finite number of heartbeats. I don't intend to waste any of mine. If you live long enough, you'll make mistakes, but if you learn from them, you'll be a better person. If you can do what you do best and be happy, you're further along in life than most people. We should remember that just as a positive outlook on life can promote good health, so can everyday acts of kindness. Don't limit yourself. Many people limit themselves to what they think they can do. You can go as far as your mind lets you. What you believe, remember, you can achieve. If you're not stubborn, you'll give up on experiments too soon. And if you're not flexible, you'll pound your head against the wall and you won't see a different solution to a problem you're trying to solve. Identity is a prison you can never escape. But the way to redeem your past is not to run from it, but to try to understand it and use it as a foundation to grow. It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. If you think about that, you'll do things differently. As you grow older, you will discover that you have 2 hands, one for helping yourself, the other for helping others. Sometimes you can't see yourself clearly until you see yourself through the eyes of others. You must not lose faith in humanity. Humanity is an ocean. If a few drops of the ocean are dirty, the ocean does not become dirty. Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them, but the only thing you can't do is ignore them because they change things. They push the human race forward, and while some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. It had long since come to my attention that people of accomplishment rarely sat back and let things happen to them. They went out and happened to things. Throughout life people will make you mad, disrespect you and treat you bad. Let God deal with the things they do, 'cause hate in your heart will consume you too. Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. Life is a dream for the wise, a game for the fool, a comedy for the rich, a tragedy for the poor. When one door closes, another opens, but we often look so long and so regretfully upon the closed door that we do not see the one that has opened for us. Happiness is the feeling that power increases, that resistance is being overcome. I have learned to seek my happiness by limiting my desires, rather than in attempting to satisfy them. The secret of happiness, you see, is not found in seeking more, but in developing the capacity to enjoy less. The more man meditates upon good thoughts, the better will be his world and the world at large. The greatest blessings of mankind are within us and within our reach. A wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he has not. Happiness is like a butterfly. The more you chase it, the more it will elude you. But if you turn your attention to other things, it will come and sit softly on your shoulder. There may be people who have more talent than you, but there's no excuse for anyone to work harder than you do, and I believe that. Don't be afraid to fail. It's not the end of the world, and in many ways, it's the first step toward learning something and getting better at it. Life is very interesting. In the end, some of your greatest pains become your greatest strengths. I think if you live in a black and white world, you're gonna suffer a lot. I used to be like that, but I don't believe that anymore. I don't believe in happy endings, but I do believe in happy travels, because ultimately, you die at a very young age, or you live long enough to watch your friends die. It's a mean thing, Life. A lot of people give up just before they're about to make it. You never know when that next obstacle is going to be the last one. I believe you make your day, you make your life. So much of it is all perception. And this is the form that I built for myself. I have to accept it and work within those compounds. And it's up to me. Take up one idea. Make that one idea your life. Think of it. Dream of it. Live on that idea. Let the brain, muscles, nerves, every part of your body be full of that idea. And just leave every other idea alone. This is the way to success. There are 3 things you can do with your life. You can waste it, you can spend it, or you can invest it. The best use of your life is to invest it in something that will last longer than your time on earth. You're not defined by your past. You're prepared by it. You're stronger, more experienced, and you have greater confidence. We become not a melting pot but a beautiful mosaic. Different people, different beliefs, different yearnings, different hopes, different dreams. Once you figure out who you are and what you love about yourself, I think it all kind of falls into place. Just disconnect, once in a day sometime. Sit silently and from all connections disconnect yourself. Football is like life. It requires perseverance, self-denial, hard work, sacrifice, dedication and respect for authority. Benjamin Franklin was a humanitarian that dedicated his life to making contributions to all humans. He had a clear purpose for himself: improve the human race. You cannot control everything that happens to you. You can only control the way you respond to what happens. In your response is your power. Don't allow your past or present condition to control you. It's just a process that you're going through to get you to the next level. You will meet 2 kinds of people in life, ones who build you up and ones who tear you down. But in the end, you'll thank them both. My mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive, and to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and some style. You choose the life you live. If you don't like it, it's on you to change it because no one else is going to do it for you. It is impossible to live without failing at something, unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you fail by default. The way I see it, every life is a pile of good things and bad things. The good things don't always soften the bad things, but vice versa. The bad things don't always spoil the good things and make them unimportant. I enjoy life when things are happening. I don't care if it's good things or bad things. That means you're alive. There's more to life than basketball. The most important thing is your family and taking care of each other and loving each other no matter what. I'm selfish, impatient and a little insecure. I make mistakes. I am out of control and at times hard to handle. But if you can't handle me at my worst, then you sure as hell don't deserve me at my best. You've gotta dance like there's nobody watching. Love like you'll never be hurt. Sing like there's nobody listening. And live like it's heaven on earth. There are only 2 ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle. Sometimes people are beautiful. Not in looks. Not in what they say. Just in what they are. Who are you to judge the life I live? I know I'm not perfect. And I don't live to be. But before you start pointing fingers, make sure your hands are clean. When someone loves you, the way they talk about you is different. You feel safe and comfortable. I can never read all the books I want. I can never be all the people I want and live all the lives I want. I can never train myself in all the skills I want. And why do I want? I want to live and feel all the shades, tones and variations of mental and physical experience possible in my life. And I am horribly limited. Finish each day and be done with it. You have done what you could. Some blunders and absurdities no doubt crept in. Forget them as soon as you can. Tomorrow is a new day. You shall begin it serenely and with too high a spirit to be encumbered with your old nonsense. I'm the one that's got to die when it's time for me to die. So let me live my life the way I want to. Just when you think it can't get any worse, it can. And just when you think it can't get any better, it can. The saddest aspect of life right now is that science gathers knowledge faster than society gathers wisdom. I speak to everyone in the same way, whether he is the garbage man or the president of the university. Every man has his secret sorrows which the world knows not, and oftentimes we call a man cold when he is only sad. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, It is the only thing that ever has. These woods are lovely, dark and deep. But I have promises to keep. And miles to go before I sleep. And miles to go before I sleep. We have to dare to be ourselves, however frightening or strange that self may prove to be. Instead of worrying about what you cannot control, shift your energy to what you can create. If you're reading this, congratulations, you're alive. If that's not something to smile about, then I don't know what is. Monsters are real, and ghosts are real too. They live inside us, and sometimes, they win. A life spent making mistakes is not only more honorable, but more useful than a life spent doing nothing.